Thank you, Shadea. For those who don't know me, I only vaguely resemble those very kind words. But I do want to take the opportunity to thank Shadea for all that she has done for this law school and for her classmates. Classmates who are now the Notre Dame Law School class of 2025. Congratulations. You know, graduating classes are kind of like children. And you know parents can't have favorite children. But, yeah. You guys are my favorites. And I know this event is being live streamed, but I will deny to anyone not in this room that I ever just said that. I think one of the reasons that I have such a fondness for you is because I've taught almost all of you. I mean, in torts, 2/3 of you, and then in your classes, other classes over the last couple of years, I think I've taught just about everybody else. The rest of you that I didn't teach, I call you the lucky ones. But as those of you, many of you know, I'm really old. And I have been planning for some time to leave the law school. I think it became kind of a running joke, you know. God, is that guy still hanging around? I thought he said he was going to leave already. And it's true. I mean, I was like a bad penny. I kept hanging around. I kept offering another class every semester. So I'm going to finally tell you why. It's because, I wanted to graduate with you guys. To me, you are a really special group of students. A class that is filled with character and with characters. And all of the people on the faculty have such hopes for you and your careers and your futures. But I also expect that after you leave, you, like me, are going to miss this school and the people that are in it. Because this is a special place. And a Notre Dame education is a special education. So last year, Pope Francis met with Father Jenkins, who then was the president of Notre Dame, and with Father Dowd, who is, of course, now the president, and with the Notre Dame Board of Trustees. Pope Francis talked to them about the role of Catholic education, but actually he talked quite specifically about the role of a Notre Dame education. He said that a Notre Dame education requires us to teach our students 3 languages: the language of the head, the language of the heart, and the language of the hands. So we on the faculty have educated your heads. We have filled, maybe at finals exam times overfilled, your heads with statutes and regulations, cases and rules and constitutional clauses, ways to think about and interpret and argue the law. And yeah, it was often hard. And sometimes, as Shadea said, as bleak as a South Bend winter. But to prove that point, but I'm just thinking, to prove that point about how hard it was, I'm just going to give you a few words. Offensive issue preclusion. You can explain that joke to everybody else later. But you know, the thing I liked about you guys was that even if it was hard, you had a curiosity and even a joy about learning. You know, we had some good times. I hope, along the way. But as you think about your education, this education of your head, be sure to give it up for each other, because maybe we on the faculty orchestrated the discussions, but you are really the ones who sharpened each other's minds by taking a stab at those cold calls, or by arguing with each other, I don't know, in the Commons or in a study group. You're the ones that taught each other, and you're going to continue throughout your careers to teach each other how to speak the language of the head. And then the language of the heart. We have educated your hearts. We've tried to get you to think more deeply about the common good, about the meaning of justice. And I've noticed that there is some disagreements among you about exactly what is true and good and just, and that's okay. We need to disagree, respectfully and humbly, but we need to disagree with each other. It's the only way I know that we can ever make progress toward a better and a fuller and a deeper understanding of what justice requires of each of us and of our society. But when it came to educating your hearts, we at Notre Dame stood on some tall shoulders. The people that are in this room, and people that in some cases unfortunately can't be in this room, they have long been the people who have been educating your hearts. Shadea mentioned them. Your parents, your grandparents, your brothers and sisters and families, your friends, your spouses, sometimes even your children. Pope Francis said that the language of the heart requires us to listen to each other and to dream. The language of the heart, and this is a hard one, by the way, when you've got a real son of a gun on the other side of the case. But the language of the heart requires us to invite and to welcome everyone we meet in our legal career as a fellow traveler on the road to trying to achieve a better justice. And then last of all, the language of our hands. Knowledge, even a good heart, that's not enough. A Notre Dame education requires you to go out into the world. And that's what this commencement is all about, to send you out, to use your hands, to act. You know, brick by brick, day by day, what you must do is to work to make our legal institutions and our legal systems better, so that they can respond to the needs of everyone, even the poor and the vulnerable, so that you can take disputes and disagreements and turn them into peace. So brick by brick, day by day, that's a really big ask. But it is what a Notre Dame education demands of you. Now, how exactly each one of you is going to live up to that responsibility, I think is probably as variable as the varied careers that you collectively are going to have over the next 50 years. Father Daly gave you a lot of good advice about how to think about what you should do this morning. So let me add just one thought. You now, as a member of this legal profession, you are a servant. For the last 3 years, my goal has been to serve you. You now are going to be going out to serve your clients, to serve our judicial system, to serve our country, our Constitution, and our democracy. It's important work. It's big work. And, you know, some lawyers, oh, they have a big ego. Not any Notre Dame lawyers, of course. Harvard lawyers, maybe. And, you know, it's okay to brag over a beer about the clever argument you just made or the clever deal you just did. But in your work itself, be humble. In his first homily, Pope Leo said that cardinals and bishops and priests should make themselves small so that the glory of their work goes to and reflects on God. Not such bad advice for lawyers either, I think. You know, I do talk to a lot of lawyers. And lots of times, ultimately, the question comes around to what gives lawyers real satisfaction in their work? And it's amazed me how over the years and across the country, how often I hear exactly the same answer in almost exactly the same words. What lawyers love about their work, what they love about this profession, is solving people's problems. So to have the honor, to have the privilege of meeting somebody where they are and to help to solve that person's problems, that, I hope, is the language of your hands. All right, now it's time for you and me to go. So let me end today with 5 simple words. When I first was asked to give this talk, this last talk, these are the 5 words that immediately popped into my head. 5 words I want to say to everyone, all of you here today, as I come to the end. But 5 words I hope that you also can say to each other before you all leave. 5 words you should find time to say today to all of the people that are here today to support you and have always supported you on your journey to a Notre Dame education. Thank you. I love you.